Hello, Yala. Hello. Hi, it is me. It is I. Smotan Didi or hiding the internet, and I'm back. We're back, you guys. On a somber note, I'm so tired. I couldn't even amp it up for you guys. We here in South Africa have learned that we've lost one of our finest artists, really, aka has been reported dead. Allegedly, he was shot at a nightclub in Durban. Don't really want to get into the details of it all. Just that it's quite sad. The video isn't really for anything more than to just acknowledge that we've lost Super Mega in the manner that we have. It's the manner that made me want to just sit down and chat with you all for 5 minutes or just say my piece because it's been weighing on me. A lot of things, well, two things happen in our country when we lose somebody in a violent manner or rather through criminal ways. It's probably not going to get solved. And I think that's where everybody is stuck right now. That, wow, if this can happen to such prominent people, it's always the chat when it happens. DJ somebody just like died in a very violent criminal manner as well. Vusi Mafai-Front, I believe, also passed away through. And we're never hearing, it's been years. Is it not close to a decade at this point? Has it not been 9+ years? Or how long has it been, the Senzo case? So you think to yourself that if such like prominent, hyper visible, always have hordes of people around them, people can't get justice in death, so their families can't receive any kind of closure, what will happen to you? I mean, the police give you an attitude problem when you have to go and have them stamp some freaking documents. They have an attitude problem over that. I know for a fact that when I have things happening at home that are criminal, reporting it to the police even feels like such a waste of time. It really just does. It's so sad what's happened. Yeah, I was first introduced to AKA when I was quite young, when he was part of a trio. I might be wrong, but I think they went by Trinity, and they had this one song that was a bob for its touch and go. That was a bob for its time. So love me some hip-hop. I feel like he has managed to navigate his career in a way that's kept him very relevant. He's managed to move through the scene with the amapianos and everything, maintaining his hip-hop flair, but somehow managing to still keep relevant. And it's hard to do that in our country, especially with hip-hop. It's really him and the double HPs and the Ricky Riggs, the Kulichan. It's them that really had these huge, like, post-Kwaito, they are the people who had strong careers in hip-hop, which is not such a strong genre in South Africa. When you're a hip-hop head, you're going to try to argue with me about this, but like, I remember the days of hype sessions. Like, my best friend and I would always like run to get the new one that was out. The mixtapes were really, really good. And when you think of all the artists that we're hearing on those mixtapes and stuff, and how many of them have these grand careers, right? It's really, really, really hard to carve out a space for yourself. And he did it. He did it in his own way. I don't believe he'll be erased. Like, this is really, really sad, but his music will live on. We'll always have Super Mega to jam to. It's sad. I'm thinking about that little girl in particular. That's also another thing that's been like weighing heavy since I learned in the AMs. I came to move around some cakes and stuff because something was happening with our electricity, and I just opened my phone when I got back in my bed and I saw this, and I was like, first of all, the first post I just saw they were posting about AK, I was like, it's probably something frivolous with Nadia. Then I just like went about my way, and then something, I was like, what is going on? So it did that to me. I mean, this was like 3 a.m. I was like, what is, like, is it real? I've followed his career. I've enjoyed his music. I'm one of those people who goes through, if I'm listening to music online, I'm streaming something and something pops up, I'm like, oh my god, I haven't, like, something of his pops up that's like current, I'm like, oh my god, I haven't listened to like Victory Lap or something in forever. I love the remix. I love to be on the remix. I've followed his career. I think he's very, very talented. I'm quite like, wow, for real. Like, I don't think it's set in for me in particular. The manner in which he lost his life and the manner in which his loved ones have now lost him, and us as, you know, fans and just people, like a country at large, you know, it's heartbreaking. It's also traumatizing. Like, the man wasn't, like, guys, just, your violence is something else. Hey, I haven't had the best view of him in his personal ways, but that's not this chat. And I don't want to have this chat. It feels inappropriate at this exact moment. I just want to acknowledge that this is fucked up, and I want to say I'm hoping, guys, I'm prepared to eat crow. Like, if the South African Police Service actually managed to solve this crime, unlike the many that they don't. Do they even, guys? I'm so confused. Super mega, guys. I don't want to get fixated on this, but how we're losing people. This chat is when what happened with when what happened with Takeoff happened. It's Entity, by the way. Like, I was like, is it Trinity? No, it's Entity, and the jam was Touch and Go. That was a cool bop. The group that he was part of before he had this huge solo career. When what happened with Takeoff happened, because he had gone, from what they were reporting, he had gone home, so to speak. And I had this conversation with my best friend about, when you ascend, should you just let the ghetto go? Should you let, because I'm one of those people who I've always wanted to, what the hell? I'm one of those people who's always wanted to build my business in the ghetto, only because I felt the people of my township deserve employment, deserve nice things. And I also felt like we can't come back home and complain that there's no improvement when we migrate with our talents and ideas, when we export our talents and ideas. You know, you migrate to the big cities because of the opportunities and stuff. You leave the country altogether because you feel your talents or whatever can't be supported by what home has to offer. And then when you come back home, you're like, oh my god, nothing changes here. So I had this idea that I would love to leave something here, not stay here and make it like my entire life, but I wouldn't want to go and start something elsewhere and there's nothing back here running. Then when you start to really sit and think about things and grow up, you realize that achieving and being this shining thing in the ghetto, that beacon, is not a glimpse of hope for other people. It's just a reminder of the shit that they don't have. But in AKA's case, from what the reports say, he was supposed to be performing at said nightclub in Durban, but the event may have been cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances, or whatever it is they reported allegedly. That's how he makes his money, right? I don't know if it's known to be a dangerous area, but that's literally how he puts food on the table, the performances. Because, like, sales are no longer a way to make money. They've never really been. It's always been like selling out shows and stuff, those ticket sales, those performances and stuff. That's where the money is really at. But with the other people as well, with DJ Somebody and everybody, because you're from this space, you're generally making music that resonates with people from that space. So even when you try to extract yourself from that situation, you're finding yourself back in these spaces because it's part of how you're making your income. Even when you're trying to like be like, okay, I don't feel safe when I'm here anymore, because look what happens. Look at just yeah, hey guys, RIP Super Mega, guys. Like, yeah, you hear them after 10 years, your police, but we have a new lead in 2032. Just wait for that. But that's it. Bye, you guys.